And now I'd like to turn it over to Simon Duke and Jenna Kahn, and they'll be telling us a little bit more about this abstract review process.
Oh, I have to unmute Simon also. Let's see. All right, Simon.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, thanks very much for letting me be involved and say a little. I've not done remote Zoom, so let me try and just push myself forward on the screen. There we are. Oh, yeah. So I'm Simon Duke. I'm a clinical oncologist from the UK. My research interest is in medical education. And so I'm an MD, hopefully soon. I got my Viva next month, hopefully soon PhD. So I'm presenting on behalf of the Abstract Review Committee. So Jill mentioned, that's the four of us there. And as Jill did, I'd like to say a big thank you to the reviewers who spent their time, gave their time to review all these abstracts. So in 2020, after submission, the process was the abstracts were assessed by more than 2 reviewers per abstract. It was often quite a lot more than that. There was a global assessment and qualitative comments. Then those went back to a review committee and presenters were notified. I've always found it a bit odd that we submit our abstracts in this sort of conference setting and then hear nothing apart from some kind of grading. And I think in an educational setting, we have to try and do better. So in 2021, we had 47 abstracts and we had to get them processed and back within a month, roughly. We wanted to add some objectivity. So we added 2, in the assessment, we added 2 validated scales for assessment of the quality of medical education research. So that's the Medical Education Research Study Quality Instrument, or the MERSCI, and then a shorter scale, which is the Newcastle Ottawa scale for education, or NOSI. The other thing we want to do, as I say, is try and give some kind of feedback as at least how things were perceived, the people who submitted abstracts. So we collated both the qualitative comments and the scales and then sent them back to the submittants. So a little bit about why we did that. Well, we wanted to try and make people aware of standards of educational scholarship. And the long-term aim is to heighten standards and help people learn. So just to pick out one thing from the MERSCI, these are the different aspects, the scoring domains, so study design, so case control or randomized, sampling, so was it a single institution or multi-institution, and what was the response rate? Then there's type of data, so was it subjective scale or objective scale, validity evidence for scales, sophistication of data analysis, and then outcome measures, and that's in Kirkpatrick's hierarchy, which you might want to look up if you're not familiar with it. So just to take outcomes, it's common in educational abstracts to refer to increases in confidence or comfort. But we know from lots of data now, the relationship between subjective evaluations from learners or trainees about their own skill or their learning, and the relationship between that and the objective evaluation is either weak or non-existent and is sometimes negative. So in terms of finding out whether your students have learned something, they're of minimal use. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we wanted to use this powerful tool of feedback. I think it's weird in education that we talk about feedback and then when we come to the abstract process, we don't give any feedback at all. So we wanted to incorporate that. So what are the results? Well, here is a graph showing box plots of Mirsky scores on the y-axis here, along with the global rating. And that was quite a comforting graph when I first made that, showing that generally the rated quality goes up with the global assessment. So we're in the right ballpark with our assessments, but there are some exceptions to that. So some studies cannot be evaluated. I think especially of qualitative studies, ethical studies, social media-based studies. Works in progress proved especially difficult to evaluate. And then there are important factors missing from those tools, such as novelty, innovation, scope, or impact. So I think there's room for improvement in how we assess these objectively. What are the next steps? Well, the first thing is to sit back and enjoy all these presentations. I'm really looking forward to it. I have to say I'm amazed at the productive partnerships that you guys form between the residents and medical students and the attendings and the standards that are produced. So I'm really looking forward to that. In terms of the abstract process, we're going to get together and reflect. How formal that is partly depends on resources. So if you'd like to get involved and make it into a super duper mixed methods, semi-structured interview, survey-based reflection, then that would be great. If we don't have extra resources, it might just be a cup of tea and a chat. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to today.